Check Mark 212. Celebrate. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I don't know what time of the day you're watching this. Or did I say that backwards? I mean to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know what time of the day you're watching this, but it's your boy Salim Casti, JTM Salim from movementsound.org. Head over to movementsound.org. Check out my music. Get links to all my social media platforms. That's Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. Really, it's under the same name, JTM Salim. Casti JTM Salim. JTM Salim. All right, hey. But yeah, like head to the website. Make sure you join the mailing list so we could be locked in forever. We could be locked in, because they've been trying to take your boy down after these social media platforms. Been show. Meta been on my boots. Yeah, Meta been on my boots. Really been taking me down, for real. I ain't gonna lie. But nevertheless, okay, it's your boy. And today I'm having a good day. I'm feeling great. I usually don't wear the green one until I'm feeling like money. So today we probably gonna be talking about money. Yeah, we always talk about money. But I just want to give y'all a quick update. What happened today? Today I paid off another debt. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. They called me. I missed the call. I'm like, who is this, LA Casti? Who it is? So I call them back. I'm like, oh shoot. They're like, oh, this is debt collector. I think I told you at T-Mobile, right? Yeah. For some reason, when I switched over to AT&T, I didn't pay my T-Mobile bill, and then they took that to collection. I think it was like $300. Nothing too crazy. But they called me today. They've been texting me all throughout, whatever. Ever since I got with T-Mobile or whatever, they've been texting me. So, they called me, missed the call. I called them back, and then I'm like, who is this? They talking about it's your social security number. I'm like, who's asking? Cause these like, is this Mr. Magan? I'm like, who's asking? Cause they're like, oh, we a debt collector. I'm like, okay, that's my social, whatever. Woo. And then they're like, Melody, you owe about Sadapagul. I'm like, okay. I was thinking about paying them anyways, because I'm in a season right now of, not only stacking money, but really paying off debt. Cause they really paying off debt. We're unaware of becoming the first fucking millionaires in our family, because we not just stacking money. We're not just making investments, right? We're not just picking up new skills. Nah, we're paying off debt too. We're gonna be debt free, right? And we're gonna be financially free. But I called them back, they verified my information or whatnot, or I verified my information for them, and they're like, hey, yeah, we calling with the T-Mobile debt, you can pay it off, $303, and or you can take the deal we're trying to give you. You can pay $121 or something like that, and you can just pay it off in full. So I'm like, okay, wait. You telling me, right? If I just pay $121, it's gonna be paid in full? They're like, yeah, okay. Well, when I pay it off, are you going to send me a release letter? They're like, yeah, we're going to send you a little release letter that says it's been paid in full. I'm like, okay. You know what? I'll pay it off right now. They're like, what, you going to pay it off right now? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to pay it off right now. And this debt been since I think it was 2021. I could have been paid it off, to be honest. But again, I wasn't in that process, in that mode that I'm in today. We grew up around people talking about, collection, but this other, who cares? I'm never going to pay them back. It's going to fall off. Nah, that's not what we own. And my credit been going up. Are you? If you in the WhatsApp channel, I sent my new credit score on there. I'm really, really happy. I ain't going to lie. I'm about to be back on that 700 plus credit score. Woo. Anyway, I paid it off. They sent me my receipt, and then they told me wait 10 business days to get your release letter. So that's debt. That debt was paid off. Now I only got 3 more debts to pay. 3 more debts to pay, and we are debt free and on our way. Boy, I'm so happy, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm happy as hell. What else happened? My credit score went up. You already know. If you want to know how much I have now, join the WhatsApp channel. Join the WhatsApp channel. I'm telling you, it's free. All you got to do is head over to movementsound.org, and then there's a button that says free community whatever, right? Click on that, or join the mailing list, and then you'll get a link to the WhatsApp channel. Yes. So I'm super excited about that. What else happened? what else happened? Actually, what inspired this video? We made that delivery to New York already. Okay, we made the delivery on a Monday, and we ain't get another load till Tuesday, right? And then the load ain't picking up until Wednesday. I know what you think. You're like, dang, you been just sitting and chilling. I've been sitting and chilling, but I've been trading. I've been recording. And I'm about to design some new merch. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, I'm definitely excited about that. Now, why am I bringing why did this video get inspired by us sitting for a long time, right? Well, I wanted to talk about the pros and cons of the decision that I made, the business decision that I made, I think last month. So in March, I don't know if I said it in any other the previous videos or not, but we were first with a fleet owner, right? And that fleet owner was paying us a certain percentage, okay? And that percentage wasn't that much, but it got us in the door, right? And then when I dropped off that fleet owner's truck, I think it was on like a Saturday, and then Sunday, right? We started renting. We started the path to ownership. We started renting our own truck, right? Now, as soon as we got into the new truck, right? Owning our new truck, 2024 Peterbilt or whatnot, you dig? Only has 200,000 miles on it. I'm telling you, brand new, running. It's running really great. Cause in my old truck I had to deal with a lot of stuff, but I don't gotta deal with this truck. Anyway, once we got into the into the path of ownership, we were still doing drive-in, right? Drive-in. For the people who don't know about the logistic companies and the different things, the different trailers, the most profitable trailers I'm gonna say is refurb, flatbed, and yeah, refurb, flatbed, and I guess doubles and hot shots, right? But anyways, I'm gonna try to keep it simple. We were first only doing drive-in, right? Drive-in, if you're anywhere in the US, you're driving on the expressway, if you work at a warehouse, you've seen these trailers before. It's a regular trailer, drive-in, right? I want to talk about the pros and the cons, okay, of this decision I made. So we were first doing drive-in. We noticed we were making some a better percentage compared to our last right? Because now we own it, right? Now we're paying for the gas. Now we got, we're in the path to ownership. So we had grossed for our first, I'm sure if you were in the WhatsApp channel, you've seen this pay stub, but we grossed for our first check on the path to ownership. I believe the check came in on, what's the month of today? This month is what, July? July, it was June. So June 10th, right? We got our first statement on the path to ownership. We did gross $4,797.20, right? That's how much we grossed. Once I seen that, I'm talking to my partner, I'm talking to my wife, I'm talking to my life, right? I'm like, Neil, I said, you know what? I said, since we're making more now, let's go ahead and switch from drive-in to refurb. For those of you who don't know what a refurb trailer is really just a refrigerator trailer, right? It carries products that need to be refrigerated, okay? And now we switched over from a department, instead of the department that we switched over to is called life science. So they deal with medical stuff, right? So we're hazmat verified. We're now switching over to, the medical side of stuff, right? A refurb trailer. Why? You're probably asking yourself, why would you switch over? If you're already, you're making more, and the drive-in is, you were able to, the first check was what? 4,000. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's all right, actually. It's all right. It's all right. It's not bad. It's all right. Plus, it was just our first week. We kind of started, in the middle of anyway. Probably mentioned this in the other videos. Anyway, so I'm talking to my life. I'm like, hey, look, let's switch over to the refurb trailer, because we know when we were with the refurbs, even though we had a small percentage from our last fleet owner, we know now that we are renting the truck and we're in the path to ownership, The refurb department, life science, was offering us a bunch of money. Well, like every load they gave us, bro, 2 bands and up, 3 bands, 4 bands. I'm like, yeah, we got to get back into it. You know, we got to get back into it. We actually fell into the program going into a refurb on accident before we started the path to ownership. I hope this is making sense. I hope you're following along. If it's not, get in the comments, let me know. But anyway, once we experienced that, I'm like, yeah, we got to get back to it. We got back to it. I'm calling the people who are renting the truck from. I'm like, hey, can y'all get us in the refurb? Can y'all get us a refurb trailer? They're like, yeah, we're gonna work on it. They ain't no help. So I called the company that's giving us the loads, right? I'm like, hey, let me get on the refurb, you know, get us back on the life science. They're like, have you ever even did a refurb trailer? What? I'm refurb trailer verified, Lake Steve. I already did like 4 or 5 loads with y'all. Let me get in. You know, I talked to her. She said, I'm gonna talk to the head of the, you know, that department, and we're gonna reach out. We're gonna reach back out to you. I said, all right, we're gonna check on everything for you. I'm like, okay, bet. You know, a few days later, she get back to me. She's like, welcome to the life science department. I'm like, thank you, right? Thank you, Gulney. I ain't gonna lie. Life science, refurb, Maya, every load, Bam King shout, it meets the numbers we're looking for every time. I'm talking about every load, 2 bands, 3 bands, 5 bands, 4 bands, 6 bands, 7 bands. Whoa, I'm talking about one load, super profitable. Cause super profitable. But let's talk about the cons. Number 1 con that comes to my mind after making this switch, I already told y'all, right? I already told you in the beginning, we made that delivery on Monday. We in New York, and then we set for Tuesday. Didn't get a load until Tuesday. Okay, and that load that we got was picking up on Wednesday. So what am I saying? The number 1 con is you're gonna sit longer to get a load, especially depending on what area in the states you're in, right? I'm learning now, New York. I know when I come deliver at New York, I'm probably gonna be sitting for a minute. I just learned that. Cause second con, you have to fuel more. What do I mean by that? You see, when we were just doing drive-in, we were fueling just the truck, the DEF system, and that was it. But when you got a refurb trailer, now you got to count fuel for the truck, the DEF system, and the trailer. Yes, the trailer. Now you probably thinking like, who cares, right? If you don't fuel right, you can kiss your paycheck goodbye. Because you're gonna start to cut into your paycheck. The customers give you a certain amount to use to fuel the truck, the DEF system, and the trailer. So that's con number 2. You have to fuel more things, right? You're not fueling 2 things anymore. It's 3 things you're fueling. Con number 3. Con number 3 is going to be, for me, it just comes with more responsibilities. And what do I mean by that? 1, you gotta make sure the trailer is set at the temperature that it's supposed to be set at an hour before you go to your pickup. So that way it can actually cool down to that temperature that you put it on. 2, soon as you pick up your load, you have to drive. You have to drive 250 miles before you can even stop, or they're gonna start blowing you up and think there's a problem. Okay, and 250 miles is roughly, I'm gonna say 4 hours of drive. Yeah. So you better have fuel. You better gas your truck up and gas everything before you even go to the pickup. Another responsibility comes with, brother, when I was doing drive-in, or when we were doing drive-in, I drive night, right? I used to only sleep when the truck was still. Like we would literally pull up to a truck stop, a rest area, or whatnot, and I would go to sleep, wake up at 12 a.m. in the morning, and start driving. But now, that were in this high paid, refurb trailer life science program or whatever, right? It's not happening. I don't remember the last time I slept when the truck was still. Nah, it's like one person drives. When that person's time's up, the next person drives, and we just switching this back and forth. So that's another responsibility that comes with. You gotta take your sleep serious. Like when it's time for you to sleep, you gotta sleep. You do not want to be drowsy behind the wheel. No, Maya. Another responsibility I would say comes with, you gotta watch the bill of landing, right? The BOL. You have to make sure the temperature matches the temperature the dispatch told you. You can't just get your paper. No, you gotta actually look at it. Okay, temperature matches. Okay, cool, bet. Another responsibility, you gotta have a padlock. These are valuable loads. They have to have a lock, so I had to get a lock. I seen this other lock. I got a little nice lock. Let me see if I can get it for you. Hold on. I got this nice little lock, not too cool. I'm about to give me a bigger one, to be honest with you. But that, what else? I think that was number 3. I'm gonna say another con. I think that's about it for real. Those are the only cons that it comes with. But the pro outweigh the cons. I ain't gonna lie to you. Bro, it's paying so good. MashaAllah. Like, okay, I guess I'm gonna give you a number 4 con. A 4th con would be, you're not getting that many loads. You're gonna get maybe 1 to 2 loads a week. Bam, show. And if you're lucky, you might hit you might get a 3rd load that's delivering on the weekend, but that's rare. That's rare. But the pros I think outweigh the con. And I feel like in anything in life we do, we must always weigh the pros and the cons. And in this situation, when I made the decision for us to switch from dry van to refurb trailer, I think I made a great decision. I think I made one of the best business decisions ever. Why? Bro, it pays more. It pays more. Bro, one load, when we were heading over, when I wanted to take a break, a little mini break in Arizona, that one load was $6,500, bro. That one load made my whole week. Now, that's not my goal to gross every time. Me personally, our goal is every week we want to gross anywhere between, I'm gonna say 7,000 and up. That's what we want, 7,000 and up. But 6,500 for one load, it was not bad. That was a great week. I enjoyed it. It was a great week. We got paid very well. Another pro, I would say, is, again, because you get 1 or 2 loads, you hit your goal faster. It's more work because you got to drive more, but you deliver less. Because with the dry van, we were hitting at least, I'm gonna say, 3 to 4 loads a week. But with here, because even though it's less loads, we're making more. Bro, this, like, when we got back from AZ, we grossed 4 bands, right? The first week we got back. The following week, we grossed $8,000, and that's our new high, actually. That's our new high in our company. In our logistics company, that's our new high. I'm super excited to really gross $10,000, and I believe we can do it. Now, what's next, right? What's next after the refurb? Our goal, before we even start getting drivers, our goal is to hit the military account. We want to start delivering for the military. They pay more. They pay handsomely. We're already what is it? Security verified. Got the hazmat. Got the tanker endorsement. Got the passports. We good to go. We just got to get that experience in. That's it. That's it. to be honest, that's all I have for y'all today. I just want to talk about the pros and the cons of the business decision that I made, switching over from dry van to refurb. I guess one last thing I would say is a con is, I mean, I think I already said it. You sit more, like, especially if you go in a bad area like New York. There's literally one thing coming out of here. One thing. It's crazy. Oh, actually, I know what it is. Because in the same time when I made the decision to switch over to a different trailer, I also made a decision for us to do a 90-day run, right? Lock in and do 90-day run. And by 90-day run, it's really more of like 90 loads, right? Before we even take a week break. The only reason why we took that break in Arizona is because it was 4th of July. The company actually called me like, hey, do you want to get off? I was like, nah, I'm trying to run. But then I thought about it. It's a holiday. I'm probably not going to get no loads. So if I'm going to sit, I called them back like, oh, hey, I changed my mind. Send me to AZ. I want to go chill over there. And then they made it happen. But anyway, because we made the switch from dry van to refurb, the 90-day run or doing 90 loads before we take a 1 week break is going to take even longer because we're not doing that many loads. We've been on the 90-day run since last month and we've only done 12 loads so far. It's going to be a while, but I can't complain because since July, we've already grossed 30,000 already. So I can't complain. My goal for the 90-day run, I'm sure we want to lock in and make at least 50K to 100K. I ain't gonna lie to you, 50 to 100,000. That's our goal. 50,000 before we even take a 1 week break and get back to it. Because eventually we want to do 60-day runs, or not 60-day, 6 months, like run for 6 months, right? And then take a break for 2 months, or run for 10 months, take a break for whatever. You get the, anyway, you get it. You get what I'm talking about. We're going to see how much 90 loads make us. And then I'm going to make another decision from there to see how we should be moving forward and how we should be, I guess, how much we should be, how many loads we should do before we take our 2 month, vacations overseas. Because I got other investments that I want to do in different places that I want to see before this life expires. You dig? Anyway, look, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for watching, liking, subscribing. It really means a lot. Thank you. We're almost at, we're at 530 subscribers right now. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers so we can grow this thing, grow the family, and keep it pushing, right? Keep it pushing. I've always wanted to have a monetized YouTube channel. I ain't gonna lie. And YouTube is one of the ways, one of the skills, one of the assets, one of the things that I'm building outside of the truck, right? So then that way, whenever we have drivers and stuff, I already have other things set up as like trading, like the YouTube, like the music, and other passive income. So we can help other people make money, right? We can do things passively and use our time to travel the world, right? Build businesses, help other people make money, and and take you guys along the journey. I think I yapped way too much. Thank you for watching. They're gonna say, Salim, you changed. Yo, boy. But the truth is, I didn't change. I just didn't have a place to express my thoughts. So that's why you can only hear these conversations right here on Salim Talks. I'm gonna see you on the next D.